It is not easy. It is hard to change your life, to be determined to prove the world wrong, to be the real you, and to show that being transgender is okay. The number of transgender deaths casts a shadow over us all, as on average 2 people who are trying to express who they are inside are murdered, often in brutal ways every month around the world. This year, many transgender folk have died due to anti-transgender hatred or prejudice. I am devastated to live in a world where the numbers of deaths keep rising year after year. We know we can make a change with the help of others. As a teen, I know my generation is going to be hit hard with reality, meeting the closed minds of others, but I also know we have time to make a change. Sadly, for teens such as Gwen Arajo, 17 years old, Nikki Nicholas, 19 years old, and Stephanie Thomas, 19 years old, change was not made soon enough. But let us not forget the brave men as well. William Lound, a transgender student from Salford, only 213 miles away, was stabbed multiple times and died just 2 weeks before I spoke here for Hampshire Pride. Caden Clark, a fellow YouTuber who had the potential to make it big, was fatally shot by the police. The thing that really angers me is that Clark was denied testosterone due to him having Asperger's syndrome. The police shot him while he was trying to commit suicide. We may also remember some of the fabulous people who fall on the gender fluid and gender non-conforming spectrum, such as Syria Bush, who was killed just a couple of weeks ago at the age of 18, being found dead and naked 30 miles away from where they lived, and Kadira Johnson, who was 16, found dead from being shot several times in an alley. Gwen, Nikki, Stephanie, William, Caden, Syria, Kadira, and other transgender teens are not safe at schools across the world, as expressing their identified gender is looked down on by peers, teachers, and even governors. Even in my own life experiences, I have felt excluded by others around me. I have felt rejected by people who are close, and I have felt sadness of being alone. But I am determined. I want to make a change. I count myself lucky to be in a position to make an impact for the transgender community. I've learned so many things over the last couple of years, but one thing I haven't learned is the answer to all the messages from people who have suffered due to the negativity of others. When I speak publicly, I rarely talk about the personal impact of hundreds of messages I get each day. I refuse to call them stories. They are not stories, they are someone's life. The power and emotion in each message shares a common thread. The feeling of exclusion, the feeling of rejection, and the feeling of sadness. I want to reach out to those who are currently struggling in expressing their gender. I can't say I know how they feel, as everyone's life is different, but I can say they are not alone. Events like the Orlando shooting earlier this year make it so much more important to unite as one, and I quote the speech I made in Portsmouth a week after that horrible attack. The need to struggle is lessening in our country. This is reflected by the significant number of young people coming out as transgender over the past year. I take pride in being seen here with you today, and in order to do so I have taken many steps and risks and faced my fears. The fear of rejection of those I love, the fear of going out and dealing with hate and challenge. No matter how many people don't see eye to eye with our decision of acceptance, I am determined to change the minds of others. I believe in my vision and I believe in my capabilities, but it's up to us to remember the ones who have fallen before us. Law enforcement, media and others often erase their existence, but transgender lives are as valuable as any other person who doesn't fall under the umbrella. We should be determined to make a difference by being visible, speaking out, educating, organising around anti-transgender violence, but we cannot do it alone. I have made myself visible online using YouTube to share my story on a larger scale. The purpose of doing so is for my own development and also to share a message that may help improve the lives of others. It's to show myself as real, real being an acronym for representative of equality, acceptance and love. Our lives matter. They are not for nothing. They matter for a lot, and they matter to a lot of people. Never do our lives not matter. Let us remember those who have lost their lives. Let us remember that love is stronger than hate, and we can all be real together.